G'day Earthlings, Dr. Rank here, and welcome to Gaming Legends, the show that's 100% identical to VG Myths, but with a lower budget. In Monsters Incorporated Scare Island, you play as a pair of electrical engineers tasked with finishing a boot camp for a job interview, exploring a dozen platforming levels and scaring the non-living daylights out of robotic children. These children are unfortunately playing with robotic toys that are constantly trying to murder you. But even homicidal playthings need to be handled with care, especially in a universe where they're considered toxic.
So play nice.
Can you beat Monsters Inc. Scare Island without breaking any toys? The rules are simple. Making any enemy take damage is completely banned. If we accidentally kill one, we must reload a prior save. The run is over when we reach the end credits. Told you they were simple. To beat the game, we just need to get all the bronze medals, which requires us to scare at least 5 of the 8 nerves in each level. Each bronze medal we earn brings us one step closer to unlocking the next level set, as well as giving us an ominous vision of the future. Scaring a nerve is as simple as collecting enough primordial ooze to fill the matching colored segment of the fright meter, standing in front of them, and mashing whatever button the game wants. The game never actively requires us to murder anyone, it's just more convenient. With no way to fight back against them though, you'll be searching for a health-restoring bag of calories every time you take damage. As expected, running away like a little sissy baby is the optimum strategy. The urban training grounds are easy enough, but we do have to watch out for enemies hiding in crates, as it's ridiculously easy to kill them while breaking it. Their location is 100% consistent though, so we can sidestep the issue by just not breaking the crate in the first place. The marketplace though does have one tricky moment. The sewer section has a yellow nerve right next to a wind-up mouse. Enemies can still damage you while you're in scare mode, which forces you to start the scare over from scratch. The nerve is in the top crate of a stack, so if you're smart with your jumps, you can break it strategically and scare it from above ground level. And even if you're less than perfect, you can still lure the mouse into the opposite corner, then run away while it's winding itself up. After a friendly gourmet race with Randall, we now have access to the desert training grounds, where things get a little trickier. The Sphinx has a yellow nerve right next to a hammer scorpion, which is a bigger threat than the mouse due to its more frequent attack pattern. In this instance, thankfully, the nerve gets up and leaves when you rudely wake it from its nap, so just let it bounce around a little before scaring it. One of the pyramid's faces has cobras all around it in conjunction with raised and lowered platforms. The only way to defeat cobras is by jumping on them, which is extremely easy to do when stepping down on top of them like an idiot. I recommend doing this level as Mike. Not only does he have a smaller hitbox than Sully, he can also hover after a double jump, which can help you avoid them entirely. The Optic training grounds are the most interesting levels in this run. The nerves here have the ability to hurt you themselves with snowballs or boulders the size of your head. You might have reservations about scaring them since they can murder you directly, but don't worry. Their death sound is completely different from the actual enemies, and they are therefore totally normal robotic human beings. Hot Springs has an orange nerve that's constantly building snowmen to do his bidding. These snowmen are thankfully of the broom swinging variety, meaning they're useless in long-range combat. But if we successfully scare the nerve while he's mid-construction, what little he has finished will disintegrate, making the same sound effect as defeating any other enemy. We're going to have to be polite and let him have his last request. The ski lift also has this nerve admiring his own creation, but neither the move nor the snowman will move from their spawn points. Luckily, we can still scare it by putting the nerve between us and the snowman, then scrambling for the nearest defibrillator as we make our escape. The Iceberg gives us one more dose of pain in the form of the most dangerous enemy in the entire run: alarm clocks. If one of these guys spots you, it'll charge at you with full force before using self-destruct. Once again, the sound effect is the same as beating any other enemy, meaning we've got to stop playing Super Mario 64 and switch over to Metal Gear. This was the highlight of the run for me, even if the loading screen decided to turn into Missing No a few times. But with Sully's stealth tactics mastered and Randall Boggs exposed as nitrous oxide in disguise, the Scare Island Pacifist Run is officially not over yet. What, you didn't think Randall was the final boss, did you? Don't you remember who put us on this island in the first place? Henry J. Waternoose III doesn't know when he's been beat and refuses to let us see the end credits until we arrest his future self. The final cutscene is locked behind 100% completion, meaning we have to go back into every level and scare every single nerve to get the gold medal. Each level has one red nerve that will remain hidden until we get the silver medal, which requires us to grab all 10 monster tokens. Every level has at least one token that is inaccessible on your first visit. But thankfully, getting all the bronze medals gives us access to all the monster enhancements. Trampolines let us reach higher platforms, boost pads lets us run faster and jump further, and fling shots teleport us to new areas. Minor note for any speedrunners out there though, since who knows when I'll get the chance to mention it again. This platform normally requires a trampoline to get to, but it's possible to get up there without it by double jumping from the nearby ledge and doing a well-timed belly flop to get on top of the boxes, letting you mop up the awaiting tokens and nerves, thus getting the silver and gold medals early. This isn't possible on the PS2 version though, since some unsung villain at Disney Interactive decided to give the platform a haircut. Similarly, this token in the Oasis normally requires us to use the boost pad to jump off the ramp, but we can use Sully's gigantic hitbox to just belly flop into it instead. However, if you actually get the silver medal this way, it'll give you a 13th bronze medal that shouldn't exist, which messes with the cutscenes just a little bit. Most of the post-game isn't much more effort than usual, but there are still a couple of minor stopping points. Sugar Shack has 2 bomb clocks inside the shack itself, guarding 1 token and 1 nerve. The first one is easy enough to get around, but the second covers the entire path and is impossible to get around. But who says we have to take that path? There's a furnace underneath the gap with the token we can stand on, but it doesn't quite provide enough height, and the aforementioned villain at Disney Interactive disabled ledge grabs for this room. However, some unsung hero at Disney Interactive decided to make the back of the furnace a separate solid object we can use to give ourselves a boost. Even this isn't perfect though, as you can still get spotted by the clock on the ground, and the camera angle prevents you from seeing it on your way back down. Then we get back to the flipping iceberg. 2 nerves and half the tokens are inside the igloos. To get into the igloos, we need to press this switch to open this door, then run along these boost pads and get inside before it closes. Unfortunately, the boost pads take us right past this bomb clock, who was built with the 2020 vision upgrade. Luckily, there's a specific point in his movement pattern where you're completely invisible to him. Let him make 1 complete circle on the right hand side, then jump on that switch and pray to John Lasseter. No joke, this part alone took me almost an entire year to complete. Every time I messed up, I had to reload the level, which almost always resulted in an appearance from Missing No, and that was assuming that I could even get the disc to work in the first place. Heck, I even had an entirely separate voiceover recording ready to go, just in case I couldn't do it. But with Mike and Sully thoroughly graduated and future Waternoose given a 2319 to end all 2319s, the Monsters Incorporated Scare Island Play Nicely run is officially conquered. If you're interested in watching the run, you can check out my playlist on the subject. And if you want more Pacifist Challenge runs, I recommend Game Jam 3000's BG Myths episodes on Dead Rising and Cave Story. Links are in the description, or you can click on the cards. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode or the next challenge run. That's all for now, and I will see you down under.